What's up? For those of you who didn't get to see the fight, here's the results on the Rodel Mayol versus Omar Nino. Rodel Mayol, a champion from the Philippines, a guy who fought twice with Ivan Calderon from Puerto Rico, also a super champ. The first time he fought Ivan Calderon, I believe it was in New York, and the second time was here in Puerto Rico. They were both stopped by headbutts, so I think that ended up in nothing. I think the second fight they gave the decision to Ivan Calderon. Anyway, Rodel Mayol, pretty good boxer. He wins another title. I don't know if it's in the same division or in the high division. He moves on. The guy's a champion, Rodel Mayol from the Philippines, but now he has to defend his title. I think that's where he made the mistake, in Omar Nino's backyard. So, you know, Rodel Mayol is the champ, but he has to travel all the way from the Philippines to defend his title versus Omar Nino in Omar Nino's backyard. The fight was an excellent, exciting fight. It was 12 rounds. You know, it got me hyped up in during a lot of the occasions during the fight. At one point, it was a headbutt. You know, I think this Rodel Mayol, the way he comes in, sometimes he's just, you know, asking for these headbutts, or he's giving these headbutts. He gave a headbutt he got a headbutt. I don't think he cut though. I don't recall that part. But he did give a headbutt to Mr. Omar Nino. Omar Nino had a nasty gash, but Omar Nino was a warrior. He kept fighting. It was a very, very good and close, hard to score. You know, if anything, when the fight ended, I'm thinking, man, this is going to be a tough fight to score. But all I'm thinking is they're in Omar Nino's backyard. You know, it's going to be a tough one. But I'm thinking Omar Nino, it's a close fight. They're going to give this fight to Omar Nino. But I do think it should have been, if anything, a tie. And if someone was going to win, I do believe Rodel Mayol won this fight. I do believe he won this fight in a very, very close fight. I do think Rodel Mayol won the fight. If they were not going to give him the fight, it should have been a tie. If anything, I always do think the champ should have at least some sort of an advantage because of being a champion. And if it does result into a close fight, it should give the champion the fight or the victory. But no, they gave it to Omar Nino. On top of this, they had a judge who scored it 115-109. So he gave every round. You know, that's when you have these corrupt judges and these mobsters, you know, in the background doing whatever the hell they want to do, and that's when, you know, fans get pissed off and a lot of dreams are broken because, you know, Rodel Mayol comes all the way from the Philippines, having to travel, going into Omar Nino's backyard to defend his title. Why doesn't Omar Nino take that same plane and go all the way to the Philippines and fight Rodel Mayol? You know, so I feel real bad for Rodel Mayol. I think he did everything he could. And I'm not taking anything away from Omar Nino. You know, it was a very, very good, close fight. But if anything, it should have been a tie. And if someone was going to win, I do think Rodel Mayol won the fight in a very, very close fight. So there are two great champions, two great warriors. And the results were Omar Nino is now the new champ at that weight class, which I don't really remember, like 112, 116, no higher than that. So that's what it is. Omar Nino, your new champ. He is a true warrior. The guy fought through a nasty gash. The guy was doing everything he could do. It was a very, very good fight. I was very excited, and I'm glad I watched it, and I'm able to give the results on that fight. And pretty soon we're going to have the Chavez Jr. fight versus Duddy. That's going to be a good fight. I haven't done a prediction on that, but I do think Chavez Jr. is going to win. And July 10th, we're going to have Juan Manuel Lopez from Puerto Rico fighting Concepcion, also from the Philippines. Concepcion, a hard hitter being trained by Freddie Roach. And Juan Manuel Lopez, y'all know he's like the superstar in the 122 and the one of the prospects in the whole boxing division, along with Gamboa. In Juan Man fight, I haven't done a prediction either. Juan Man versus Concepcion. So I'll give you a quick preview. I do think Juan Man will win this fight, and probably by knockout. Concepcion is a good fighter. He's kind of disorganized, not that organized in the ring, but he does hit hard, and he's gonna have Freddie Roach in his corner, so that's always a plus. So I'll do some more vids on that, and so y'all know results. Mayol, new champ. Great fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right.